Hello everybody. Today I'm going to work on the frame rails for the 1969 Dodge Charger General Lee car, and we're hopefully going to get that tied up so that we can move on to the next parts and get more exciting. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did to piece in the frame rails. So here's one frame rail I already have tacked into place. It's not installed by any means, but it's attached to the car. Now I'm not going to finalize anything until I have the other frame rail in and the cross brace in, and then I measure everything out precisely to make sure that it's all right. Now, before I made the video showing me cutting the frame rails out of the car, I took a lot of measurements. So you see some of my measurements are written up here on the car. I also have plenty of photos showing the measuring tape on both frame rails, the new frame rail and the old frame rail, so that I have measuring points from different parts on the frame rail. Now I decided to piece it in up in here, right between the shock mount cross member, because that seemed to be where the frame was the most solid, and it's a good place to hide everything so that when you weld it and grind it down, it will go unnoticed. Nobody will even know that you've done it there. I still haven't taken the remains of the floor pan off the old frame rail, or the new frame rail I should say. These are out of another car. I'm going to leave all of that stuff until I get everything tied up, and then I'll take the remains of the old floor pan out and everything. So we're going to go to the other frame rail, and I'm going to show you step by step how I did this side. Here's what's left of the frame rail that we used to put in the car already. And here's our other frame rail that we're going to modify right now. So as you see, I have it taped, and this is just for a rough cut. This is not a final cut. I'm going to cut on the left side of the tape, and just to make the frame rail a little smaller, a little more manageable. We're probably going to be close to the right side of the tape when I actually attach it to the car, so it gives me a little bit of room to trim it and shape it and get it so that it matches the car properly. And there you have it, one frame rail cut, ready to go on the car. Now we're going to take it in and we're going to shape it and size it, and shape and size the car to make everything fit together nice so that we can weld her up. So what I've done is I've strapped the frame rail to a lift cart, a scissor cart, so that I can adjust the height and everything. I can adjust the angle if I want to and everything, so that I can put it into place into the car. So right now the car needs to be cut down more. It's about 6 inches too long, because when I took the original frame rail off, I just cut it off to get it out of the way so I could make room. I don't know if you can see that because of the light, but that's what we're looking at now. So I need to cut the car's frame rail down so that I can get it lined up, and I'm just going to do it slowly. I've used a piece of tape, 3/4 inch tape, to mark my line on the frame rail that I just cut, and I'm going to do the same thing on the car frame rail. So in theory it gives me 1.5 inches to play with to get everything to mate up and everything as I trim it down. And I'm just going to trim it down slowly so that I get everything to mate up and everything the right shape, and then eventually we'll merge it together. So basically we've got the frame rail in place. As you can see, it's a little bit tight on this side, so I'm just going to take a cutoff wheel and create a little gap so that I can weld it in, and then I should be good. I'll get good penetration out of it then. If I weld that right now, then the weld won't penetrate, and I'm just doing a surface weld at that point. So it's best to leave a little bit of a gap so that you have somewhere for your wire to go to penetrate it. Otherwise the frame rail is ready to go. It's all lined up. I trimmed all the excess metal off the top of the frame rails just to make them look a little better and to not cut myself on the sharp edges. Eventually I will have to remove the sheet metal that's left on top of the frame rails, but I'm not going to do that until I have the frame rails completely welded in and installed, just so they don't change shape or distort on me. As you see, I have the leaf springs are already bolted up as well. Well, that's it for today, folks. I'm going to quit for the day and play with Tanny. She's ready for me. So I'll do another video tomorrow or the following day, and we will continue on with the process here, and you can build the car along with me and see it come to life. Thanks for watching.